To the one who believes and doesn't doubt, all things are possible. Nothing shall be impossible. Hello, good people. This is Stella, your regular host on the Family Enrichment Hub. I have the honor to again welcome you to the new year 2025. I do hope you've settled in and have written down your desires, your aspirations, and your plans for this year. Today, I'm going to be speaking about another subject of interest and concern to all of us, and that is purpose to grow financially. When it comes to growing in whatever aspect, in whatever venture that you're involved in, the will is very important. Like they say, that where there is a will, there will always be a way. So purpose and determine that this year you're going to have some remarkable achievements with regard to your finances on a personal and at household level. I always love the story of the talents in the Bible, in the book of Matthew, chapter 25. This parable speaks to all of our lives. It's actually a caution, it's an admonition, it's an encouragement for us to be cognizant of the fact that each of us has been entrusted resources, we have unique abilities, we have unique talents that are within us, and we only need to tap into them and maximize them for our good and the good of our families. In the parable of the talents, there were three people who were each entrusted resources. The first one was given 5, the second was given 2, and the third was given 1. The one who was given 5 talents, the Bible says he immediately went to work and made 5 more. Even the one who was given 2 immediately went to work and made 2 extra talents. But the one who was given 1 simply buried this talent. And when the resource owner returned, he just handed back the 1 talent as it was. And like we all know, the resource owner was extremely disappointed, and this man was actually rebuked for not multiplying the talent that had been given to him, while the ones who had 5 and 2 multiplied theirs, and they were congratulated and applauded by the master. This is what the Lord expects of all of us. The giftings, the talents and abilities that He has given us, we should be able to put them to work and grow them and multiply them. When it comes to our money, we need to be growing it. We need to be thinking abundance. We need to be thinking big. We need to be thinking of how do we make ourselves better? How do we increase our incomes? How do we reduce our expenses? How do we grow our assets? Progressive organizations are always thinking of growth. I've had the privilege of working in an organized work setting in a bank, and I can tell you for a fact that all banks have an agenda, they have a drive to grow themselves with regard to their income statements or profitability, with regard to their balance sheets, that is, their assets, with regard to the goodwill in the communities in which they operate. They all desire to grow their share capital. And so, if organizations have this drive and agenda to make sure that every year they are posting growth in all these different aspects of their operations, we need to be concerned on an individual basis and at household level to put up plans, to put up action points that should be able to help us to grow our incomes, to grow our finances within our families. How do you activate yourself to grow, financially speaking? We need to start with first things first. Do you know your current financial position? Do you know how much income you bring in to the household? Do you know your household expenses? Do you know the assets that you own as a unit? Do you know the dates that are before you? Once you know your current position, you can be able to come up with smart plans on how to multiply the income, how to grow the assets, how to grow the savings and investments, and how to knock off or pay off the dates that you are running with. You cannot go to a certain destination before you know where you even are. So need to know where you stand financially speaking. The next thing is you need to appreciate what you've been able to achieve in the previous years. For instance, what did you achieve in the year 2024? What you achieved in the previous year should be the baseline, should be the point of focus for you to challenge yourself to do bigger and better in the current year. For instance, when you look at the way governments do their budgetings, the way they do their projections for income or for tax collections, they base on the achievements of the previous years in order to do their projections for the current year. Just like when it comes to organizations, when they are coming up with the sales figures for the year, they base on the sales achievements of the previous year in order to come up with fairly achievable figures for the current year. So you need to know what did you achieve last year at individual level and at household level so that you can use that as a baseline to determine what you need to achieve in the current year. Know where you want to be this year. What do you want to achieve? How much money do you want to make this year? How much savings do you want to accumulate? What investments do you want to do? How much do you want to grow your business in case you're engaged in business? Know where you want to be by the time the year is ending. Know where you want to be in 2 years, 3 years, 5, 10, or more years. When you know where you want to be, like I've mentioned on this platform, you cannot start a journey when you do not know the destination you're headed to. When it comes to our finances, you need to know where you're headed. What do you want to achieve so that you can come up with work plans that will back up and support the desire that you have for your finances. We need to own our lives and destinies. Stop the blame game. Stop blaming the economy. Stop blaming the government. Stop blaming people. Stop blaming your bosses. Stop blaming your background. Stop blaming your parents because your financial position is in your hands. Your destiny is in your hands. And I strongly believe that even what you've been able to achieve today as an individual and as a household, it has been a result of your previous way of thinking, of the previous actions that you put in. That is what has brought you to where today. So if you love where you are today, keep up with what you've been doing. But if you don't like where you are today, then better change the way you're thinking, change your action plans, change your company, improve yourself and grow yourself to a point where you can be able to grow your finances to the desirable level that you are looking at. You have a unique niche, each of us as an individual. And so our role is to identify and focus on it. For others, it could be farming. For others, it could be teaching and training. For others, it could be real estate. For others, it's enterprise. So you simply need to identify and tap into what your unique niche is, and you will be able to grow yourself financially speaking. Read money books. On a personal level, every month I challenge myself to read a financial book. Sometimes I read 2, even 3 within the month. In this way, I've been able to improve and grow my mindset to the point where I am today, to the point where I am able to manage and understand my finances as an individual and at household level. It's also God's desire for us to prosper. So whatever ventures you get engaged in, know that God is backing you. He tells us in 3 John 3:2 that I wish above all things that you may prosper and be in health, even as your souls prosper. So whatever you're doing, God is actually on your side. He desires that you prosper, that you grow, and you multiply. Follow mentors and coaches, people who have gone on ahead of you, people who are having results that you desire to see in your own life. This is always a beautiful way for us to empower ourselves, to improve our thinking, and be able to reproduce the results of the people that we admire into our own lives. Attend seminars. On a personal basis, I'm also engaged in poultry, beside many other things that I do. I attend so many poultry trainings. This has enabled me to skill myself and be able to run my poultry business in a unique way, in an efficient way, in an effective way that is delivering for me super good results. So seminars is another way for you to be able to improve yourself and grow yourself, financially speaking. It's worth noting that you have all that it takes for you to prosper and to grow. You have the health, you have the eyes, you have the mindset, you have legs, you have hands, you have everything that is needed for you to be able to improve your life and your story, financially speaking. Why should we improve ourselves? When you grow yourself, financially speaking, remember, like the Bible says, everything answers to money. For instance, your health, your education, your standard of living, your well being at household level, all these things feed into the money aspect. So when you grow your money, you're able to improve the way that you live. You're able to be generous and be a blessing to people around you and to your community. When you grow yourself, you are proving that you're not static, you are progressive, and you become a testimony, you become a source of inspiration for others to actually arise. When you grow financially, you increase your options in life. You're not limited to just one thing. I have no choice. This is all I can manage. Financial growth gives you beautiful options and choices in life. It helps you to be an example to your children. You become somebody who should be emulated and copied because you have grown and improved yourself, financially speaking. Allow me conclude with this. Your financial growth has a multiplier effect on yourself, on your family, on your admirers, and on the community in which you operate. Someone will arise just because you chose to rise and grow yourself, financially speaking. When you sit back and fold your hands and remain static without any financial growth in your life, many others will remain stuck and seated in the same position. So, purpose to arise and be a source of inspiration for another person to look up to you and rise and change their financial story. Thank you, friends, for listening in. God bless you. Catch you next week. Kindly share widely, for this is how we shall truly transform our societies through the family. Bye.